Exodus 10. The Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his servants." So notice it spread to the servants in the last chapter, and now it's repeating it here. In order to display these signs of mine before him, and in order that in the hearing of your son and your grandson you may tell how I made fools of the Egyptians, and about my signs that I display among them, so they may know that I am the Lord. So one of the reasons, I'm telling you explanation here instead of keep going. We'll keep going. So Moses and Aaron came to Pharaoh and told him, "This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has said. How long do you refuse to humble yourself before me? Release my people so they may serve me. But if you refuse to release my people, I am going to bring locusts into your territory tomorrow. They will cover the surface of the earth so that you will be unable to see the ground. They will eat the remainder of what escaped, what is left over for you from the hail, and they will eat every tree that grows for you from the ground, from the field. They will fill your house, the house of your servants, and all the houses of Egypt, such as neither your fathers, your grandfathers have ever seen. They have been in the land until this day." Then Moses turned and went out from Pharaoh. Pharaoh's servants said to him, "How long will this man be a menace to us? Release the people so that they may serve the Lord their God. Do you not know that Egypt is destroyed?" So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh, and he said to them, "Go, serve the Lord your God exactly. Who is going with you?" Moses said, "We will go with our young, our old, our sons, our daughters, and with our sheep and our cattle we will go, because we are to hold a pilgrimage feast for the Lord." He said to them, "The Lord will need to be with you. If I release you and your dependents, watch out. Trouble is right in front of you. No, go you men only and serve the Lord, for that is what you want." Then Moses and Aaron were driven out of Pharaoh's presence. The Lord said to Moses, "Extend your hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they may come up over the land of Egypt and eat everything that grows in the ground, everything that the hail has left." So Moses extended his staff over the land, and then the Lord brought an east wind on the land all day and all night. The morning came, and the east wind had brought up the locusts. The locusts went over all the land of Egypt and settled down in all the territory of Egypt. It was very severe. There had been no locust like them before, nor will there be such ever again. They covered the surface of all the ground so that the ground became dark with them. And they ate all the vegetation of the ground and all the fruit of the trees that the hail had left. Nothing green remained on the trees or on anything that grew in the field throughout the whole land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron. "I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you. So now forgive my sin this time only, and pray to the Lord your God that he would only take this death away from me." Moses went out from Pharaoh and prayed to the Lord, and the Lord turned a very strong west wind, and it picked up the locusts, and it blew them into the Red Sea. Not one locust remained in all the territory of Egypt, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not release the Israelites. The Lord said to Moses, "Extend your hand toward heaven, so that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, a darkness so thick it can be felt." So Moses extended his hand toward heaven, and there was absolute darkness throughout the land of Egypt for 3 days. No one could see one another, and no one could rise from his place for 3 days. But the Israelites had light in the place where they lived. Then Pharaoh summoned Moses and said, "Go serve the Lord. Only your flocks and your herds will be detained. Even your families may go with you." But Moses said, "Will you also provide us with sacrifices and burnt offerings that we may present them to the Lord our God? Our livestock must also go with us. Not a hoof is to be left behind, for we must take these animals to serve the Lord our God. Until we arrive there, we do not know what we must use to serve the Lord." But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he was not willing to release them. Pharaoh said to him, "Go from me. Watch out for yourself. Do not appear before me again, for when you see my face, you will die." Moses said, "As you wish. I will not see your face again." So the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his servants." So we have a change here. Not only is Pharaoh's heart being hardened, but his servants are as well. Not necessarily the people, but the servants of Pharaoh, probably those within the palace, those who are seeing this. They are tired. They're sick of it. In order to display these signs before him, and in order that in the hearing of your son and your grandson you may tell how I made fools of the Egyptians, and about many signs I displayed among them, so that they may know that I am the Lord. So here is one other aspect of this. Part of the reason for the plagues and the severity of them is to be able to tell your children and your grandchildren, so they will know that God is the Lord. If you're hearing stories, this would make sense to me. We know it doesn't happen. But if I'm hearing stories of our God bringing all of these plagues, and now we're in the land, I think I want to serve him the way he tells me to serve him and trust him and not be foolish and go do other things. But we know they do. They go and do other stuff. So alaliti is a bold anthropomorphism. The word means to occupy oneself at another's expense, to toy with someone, which may be paraphrased with mock. So making a fool is toying with, like think about a cat playing with a mouse. The whole point is that God is shaming and disgracing Egypt, making them look foolish in the arrogance of their stubbornness. So, you're so dead set against letting me go that you would rather have harm upon yourself than release my people. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. So, So Moses and Aaron came to Pharaoh and said, "This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. How long do you refuse to humble yourself before me?" Oh, we've got a new question. How long? The form may be classified as a present perfect. How long have you refused? For it describes action begun previously, but with effective continuing. Okay, yeah. How long do you refuse? How long are you going to keep refusing? Humble yourself before me. The clause is built in the infinitive. Okay, they're just telling us. It answers the question of what he is refusing to do. Humble oneself. Release my people so they may serve me. So we have a clause before the just saying, release my people so they may serve me. But if you refuse to release my people, I'm going to bring locusts into the territory tomorrow. So tomorrow the locusts are coming. They will cover the surface of the earth so that you will not be able to see the ground and no one will be able to escape. Nothing that was left from the hail. We know there were some crops left from the hail because they hadn't come up. And the hail didn't knock down every tree, so there could be fruit still on some of the trees, but it did damage some trees. And like the frogs, they're going to fill your house and the house of your servants and all of Egypt. So there's still the distinction there. Egypt separate from his servants. So as neither your fathers nor your grandfathers have seen since they have been in the land until this day. Then Moses turned and went out from Pharaoh. So he gives the saying, you don't release them? Hey, tomorrow, the locusts, tomorrow. It's only a day away. So Moses and Aaron were brought back. Oh, wait, I missed a section. Pharaoh's servant said to him, "How long will this man be a menace to us?" Okay, what do we have here in the word menace? A snare. Ooh, the word is used for a trap. So is a snare. It's what you get caught in. It's what you cannot avoid. Hey, I'm watching. Welcome in. Release the people so they may serve the Lord their God. Do you not know that Egypt is destroyed? So the servants, even with hardened hearts, are now ready to spew them out. Like, get them out of here. I don't want to lose anything more. We're not as stubborn as you. We're not going to stick it out until the very end. We're going to keep going. You can keep going. We don't want to. Let them go. So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh. And notice as he says they can go, he keeps making the concession a little bit closer. Go serve God. Exactly who is going to go? Moses said, we will go with our young, with our old, with our sons, our daughters, with our sheep and our cattle, because we are told to hold a pilgrimage feast. He said, the Lord will need to be with you if, if I release you and your dependents. Watch out. Trouble is right in front of you. No. Go with men only and serve the Lord, for this is what you want. Then Moses and Aaron were driven out of Pharaoh's presence. So Pharaoh is urged by his servants, let them go. And he says, who's going to go? And he's like, everybody and our animals. And he's like, nope, just the men, just for men. You can go. That's what you want anyway. That's what you're seeking. Quit telling me the lie that you want all of this. You can't have it all. Take the men and go. Then he drives them out. The Lord said to Moses, extend your hand over the land. It's like, hey, too late. Not going to do it. So this has got to be the next day. Extend your hand over the land and the locusts, that they may come up over the land and eat everything that grows in the land that was left from the hail. So Moses extended his staff over the land, and the Lord brought a east wind. Okay, so maybe it is this day, because it says it blew all that day and all the next day. So the beginning of the plague, like, think about this. Think about this. You know the plague is coming. You know the plague is coming. The wind begins to blow in such a way as you have never experienced. And it's also an east wind. An east wind is, frankly, from the east is where destruction comes, and from the north. So east wind is coming. It's a wind of destruction. It's coming from the east. It's blowing all day and then all night. The morning the east wind brought the locust. So, like, it is like this doomsday scenario, causing you fear until the locusts arrive, and then the doom has arrived. It was very severe. There had been no locust like them before, nor will there be ever such again. It's just common Bible language of saying it's the worst that anybody's ever seen. They covered the surface of all the ground, so that the ground became dark with them. And they ate the vegetation of the ground, and all the fruit in the trees, and the hail had left. Nothing green remained on the trees, or anything that grew in the fields throughout the whole land of Egypt. Okay, even though it says the whole land of Egypt here, I'm thinking Goshen has been left out, because we've had that repeatedly, that Goshen is left out when we see the whole land. Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron, said, I have sinned against the Lord and against you. So notice the escalation here. He brought him in last time, said, I have sinned, stop it. Now he brought him in and said, I've sinned against the Lord and against you. I not only am not obeying the Lord, I'm not obeying you, I'm not humbling myself before you, I'm not doing as I should. So now forgive my sin this time only, and pray to the Lord that he would only take this death away from me. What do we have here for the word for death? Death as a mononymy, the things that have caused. If locusts are left in the land, it will be death to everything that grows. Yeah, so it's just metaphorical. Okay. Moses went out from Pharaoh and prayed to the Lord, and the Lord heard a very strong west wind, and it picked up the locusts and blew them into the Red Sea. I love how it just, like, blows them in the sea. All right, yeah, your job's done. You ate everything. Let's blow you into the sea. So perhaps a sea wind off the Mediterranean. I'm watching. You're not sick. You're anemic. The weather keeps going up and down, and your body can't catch with the constant state and the slight chill. Yeah, I get the slight chill, but I'm sitting in a basement where it's cold. So, there's that. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. So not one of the locusts is there, but Pharaoh's heart is hardened, and he doesn't release. So even though he's trying to negotiate, he's not doing it. Again, we have another one that is now not a warning to Pharaoh. So we're going to have a plague. that is going to happen. The Lord said to Moses, extend your hand towards heaven. So there may be darkness over the land of Egypt. So this doesn't say the next day. We don't know how long it is until this happens. The ninth plague is darkness fell on the land except on Israel. The plague is comparable to the silence in heaven just prior to the last plague in Revelation, where Yahweh is attacking a core Egyptian religious belief as well as portraying what lay before Egypt. Throughout the Bible, darkness is a symbol of evil, chaos, and judgment. Blindness is one of the manifestations, but the plague here is not blindness or even spiritual blindness, but awesome darkness from outside. It appears now that the sun god Ra is dead. If there's no sun for 3 days, this is not normal. This is not usual. The god of the sky, the sun, has been killed. So darkness is going to. So Moses extended his hand toward heaven, and there was absolute darkness throughout the land of Egypt for 3 days. The construct is a variant of the superlative genitive, a substantive of construct state connected to the noun of the same meaning. The darkness was no doubt occasioned really by a sandstorm produced by a hot electric wind, which blows intermittently. This is another application of the anti-supernatural approach to the text. The text, however, is describing something that was not seasonal winds, or Pharaoh would not have been intimidated. If it coincided with that season, then what is described here is so different and so powerful that Egypt would have known the difference easily. Pharaoh here would have would have to have been impressed that this was something very abnormal and that his God was powerless because the light in all the dwellings of Israel. I don't know how they know necessarily there's light in all the dwellings other than to send and investigate. Maybe they did. How there's total darkness here, I don't know. I don't need to know. I accept that it is. It's very fascinating. It's total darkness so that one could not see another person. So not only is there no sun in the sky, there are no stars in the sky either. So a man, his brother, could not see. So, like, if you've ever been in a cave darkness is that there's no light source whatsoever. It's total darkness. That's what's on the land. So no one can see. So this has to be supernatural in some way. And again, I think it's an attack on the Egyptian god Ra, the sun god. The sun god, which also Pharaoh is connected to Ra. So we're getting more and more closer to Pharaoh, which all of these demonstrate Pharaoh has no power over the God of Israel. So Pharaoh summons Moses, go serve the Lord, only your flocks and herds will be detained, even your families may go. So he gives them more concession. Families can go, no livestock. If the livestock stay, you'll have to return. But Moses said, you also provide us sacrifices and burnt offerings that we may present to the Lord our God. Well, if our livestock can't go, are you going to send livestock with us? Which you don't have because they've been destroyed and killed by the plagues. Are you going to send livestock with us? Our livestock must go also with us. Not a hoof will be left behind, for we must take the animals to serve the Lord our God until we arrive there. We don't know what we must use to serve the Lord, so we got to bring all of our animals because we don't know what he's going to ask for. When we get there, when the celebration begins, then we'll be able to know we need 3 goats and 2 sheep and a herd of cattle. We don't know. He hasn't told us. He just said, make a 3-day pilgrimage, and then we'll sacrifice. So we got to take them all. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he was not willing to release him. Pharaoh said to him, go from me, watch out for yourself. Do not appear before me again, for when you see my face, you will die. Moses said, as you wish. As you wish. But you will not see my face again. Unwittingly, do not appear before me again. If you see my face, you will die. Okay. We'll see about that. We shall see.